It is those underlying hidden secrets, those things that are not said, those dynamics within the family that shape us, that are not healthy, that no one mentions. And these are the stories that are not normally written about. And I'm so glad that you did that, because is that is that why you added that twist to the time travel too? Because I have to say, I think that everyone should read this book, because these stories, they're not the ones that are often told. And it is that kind that hits people where they live, more people where they live. So many people don't have those extremes. And I think that time travel twist actually kind of made it more fun in a way where we were invited into uh, most people's lives, most people's, not the extremes.
Right. I think that's a great observation. And for me, the time travel was what I want to do. So, and it ends up being, like you said, this great, connector, a device to, rather than just remembering it, to relive it, and then that's so relatable. The whole thing is so
Yeah,
relatable. And when
it
I
is.
talk to somebody about it, even when someone hasn't read the book, you're an exception because you read it, and I mean, you read it with great attention to detail. But you see the click, 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 and that all that is male, female, it doesn't matter age. What would I do if I went back to my 10-year-old self? And my kids have told me that. I thought myself back to my 10-year-old self, and I was only how many years removed from that. But that's
Mhm.
the immediate takeaway is I put myself in that situation, and what happens, and
I loved how you said just because it wasn't a case of extremes doesn't mean it didn't happen.
right, right,
Yeah, because we're so quick to minimize our pain when it's not extreme.
right. And we compare our, I have a dear friend who lost her son to cancer at 15. And she tells me all the time, you cannot not share your stuff just because you don't think it's as bad as my stuff. Like when my dad died, she goes, we're going to talk about your dad dying, even though you don't want to do that with me because you're comparing it right away to my son's death. She said that doesn't take away from your experience being a real experience that has had a profound impact on you. But I think social media has done nothing but it accelerates that thought because we look on social media for the extreme. We hear the extreme stories. That's what's shared,
Yeah.
and so we think if we don't have something extreme, it's not worth sharing. And I like what you said. This book is just it's kind of there's not right words for it anymore. Not normal, not suburban, but it's just like you said, for most people, for a lot of people, it's relatable.